Mr. Speaker, by the time we finish implementing this budget, and by the time we finish implementing the three that will come after this one, Osunu beye nkitikiti. Osunu beye nkitikiti. Osunu nkitikiti.
Majority Leader, the Minister for Finance did not talk about Osunu. So, Osunu is not part of the statement.
Mr. Speaker, the part one was Mahamanomics. The part two is Forsonomics.
Abusuya, after say the finance minister Ora Ato Forson the budget no ewie pe abusuya na ho behia say the minority leader and the majority leader questions biara obiara no abusuya or the betugua na abusuya conversation of course between the majority leader Ora Mahama Ayarega and Ora Afenyo Markins no abusuya. It was so funny and fantastic at the Parliament House. Yenti a conversation of course so at Parliament House so after a year Ura Kiso Ato Forson ready budget no area no na busu achire wadwen afa video yi ehun.
Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, this afternoon we have been presented with part two of the Lamentation series. The part one, Mr. Speaker, the part one was Mahamanomics. The part two is Forsonomics. And it's very clear, Mr. Speaker, that under the economy that they complain about, the growth was 5.7%. And then under the research economy, the growth is rather going down. You are projecting a 4-point-something growth. That is what you are doing. Mr. Speaker, the economy that they complain about left us with 4 months of import cover, and they are projecting under reset 3 months. Mr. Speaker, these are the very people who managed the economy up to 2016 and left us with some IPP debts. Today they are telling us that they are coming to renegotiate the very disaster they left us. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Minority Leader. Honorable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we are not debating today. We are giving an indication.
Honorable Minority Leader, please be guided by Order 91.
Mr. Speaker, exactly so. Very, very guided by that. Mr. Speaker, I mean,
your statement was that you are not debating today.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, we are not making comment on it. We are not going to make comment today. 91, Mr. Speaker, when he makes a statement, we are supposed to comment on it.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm saying that we are not going to engineer the comment today. Because, Mr. Speaker, they are not ready. We are ready, but we think they are not ready.
Minority
so I'm
Leader.
only going to give an indication. Mr. Speaker, let the Minority Leader enjoy his bona fides for this minute. Just relax, Mr. Speaker.
I only want to draw your attention to the fact that you can only make comments.
Very well.
And the comments not more than 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, in commenting on this statement by the Finance Minister, it is clear to all of us in this chamber that today they decided to populate this chamber Mr. Speaker, they populated this chamber with their members only to come.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker.
The Minister for Finance did not talk about the population of the chamber. So that is not part of the statement of the Minister. Please.
Mr. Speaker, I noticed that when the Finance Minister came to present his statement, for the first time after the inauguration, the swearing in, the majority side was heavily populated. Mr. Speaker, that notwithstanding, Mr. Speaker, we have witnessed what we can best describe as an Azan budget. Mr. Speaker, they are on much talked about for 24-hour economy. The president came here, they said it was all ready. The finance minister comes here, and again, the 24-hour economy policy is not included in his budget statement. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, the youth of this country have been waiting for this 24-hour economy policy. The minister tells us the policy will be brought later. Hey, Ato, the policy will be brought later. Mr. Speaker, it is clear that all the jobs they promised the youth of this country was merely an Azan promise. Mr. Speaker, there is no inspiration from this budget. There is no hope in this budget. The repetition of the social intervention programs, Mr. Speaker, and then the minister complained that some contracts at the road sector had no commencement certificate. Go to the Chain Homes Road. There is a road construction on the Chain Homes. There is a new road being constructed to the 10 rooms with a new runabout. There is no commencement. We did a search. There is no commencement. There is no PP approval. You are doing, Mr. Speaker, you have started construction only at the Chain Homes.
Honorable Minority Leader. Honorable Minority Leader. Honorable Minority Leader. Please, comments. I have given you a privilege. Don't abuse it.
Mr. Speaker, I shall conclude my comments by saying that whereas the Minister of Finance told us that there will be heavy sanctions against all those who go contrary to the PFM Act. Under his own administration, the Chain Homes Road is being constructed now, a new runabout is being constructed. Meanwhile, there is no commencement certificate. Meanwhile, there is no PPA approval. Mr. Speaker, the sanctions must start with his own ministers. Mr. Speaker, we are ready for our comments. We know they are not ready, but if the minister is going to stay, Mr. Speaker, let us start the comments on this budget statement here and now. Because this Azam budget, we cannot allow it to get onto the shelves for Ghanaians to think that there is any hope, Mr. Speaker. There is going to be comment to expose them. Thank you very much.
Honorable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the minority leader and I share something in common. We were both assemblymen. And when the Minister of Finance made the unprecedented announcement of a gargantuan sum of money for assemblymen, I saw the gleeful smile on his face. Unfortunately, it will not apply to ex-assemblymen. Mr. Speaker, this clearly is a budget of a government and a party that keeps its promises. Almost every promise that was made by John Dramani Mahama is being fulfilled in less than 120 days. This budget is a budget for Makola women. This budget is a budget for assemblymen. This budget is a budget for girls. This budget, sanitary pads, students, girls, students, sanitary pads, there's sanitary pads. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, it seems to me that the men on this side have started using sanitary pads. Because the sanitary pads is for the female students. That's why I said girls. Mr. Speaker, this is a budget for school children. They will now get the set of textbooks that they need to study. And peace of mind. Mr. Speaker, this is a budget that delivers solid reforms. And this is a budget that is moving our growth from Galamsey growth to real growth. Mr. Speaker, by the time we finish implementing this budget, and by the time we finish implementing the three that will come after this one, Osunu beye nkitikiti. Osunu beye nkitikiti. Osunu nkitikiti. To it, Mr. Speaker, the elephant will become small. Osunubaya kiti kiti.
Majority Leader. Majority Leader, the Minister for Finance did not talk about Osono. So, Osono is not part of the statement. Please.
Speaker wants to go with you. Mr. Speaker, on that note, I want to assure my friend, the minority leader, that the road at Chain Homes that is being done is not a new project. It's not a new project. So don't. There's something else you want me to add. Yeah. Mr. Speaker, this is a budget that gives hope to Ghanaians. This is a budget that will stabilize the economy. This is a budget that will create jobs for the youth of this country. Because this is a budget that will stabilize the economy and provide the enabling environment for the private sector to thrive and create jobs for the youth of this country. Mr. Speaker, fishermen, Okada riders, taxi drivers, students, and the energy sector is going to be salvaged by the implementation of this budget. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the Minister of Finance for making the statement and to assure my friend, the minority leader, that we are ready to debate their records and our records, and we are ready to demonstrate that the proposals contained in the statement of the Minister of Finance will indeed reset Ghana. Ghana is being reset. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.